he had on the lovely Rachel Wolfson, stoner extraordinaire, hilarious stand-up comedian. She was on Jackass 4.5, Jackass Forever. She's fucking
first
awesome.
Female on Jackass.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's sweet.
First female stoner.
Oh.
That's the best part. Did you get to smoke on set?
I will not confirm or deny any of that.
Hey girl, you trying to hit this?
Oh, you know exactly what I need. Welcome back to 2 Girls, 1 Blunt, guys. Today we've had 3 blunts
Yeah, we have.
and 3 girls. You gotta fix my gay haircut.
It was just a little bump.
We love
we
it.
think Emily looks like a lesbian.
Okay. We love that.
You know, I think girls would think she looks gay or like bisexual, like artsy,
Yeah.
but every guy says no. Everyone's like, no, you look straight.
I mean, I just feel like, I'm like, you can never really assume because there are people out there who you think are gay and sometimes they surprise you. And then
I
there
was
are
gonna
people.
say, you kind of
And then there's guys you date
Okay,
and then
I
you
get-
find out they're fucking someone on the side.
I feel
and
like
it's a man.
I'm serving gay all the
give
time.
gay vibes.
It's not that I'm not gay. I'm straight. I've always dated guys.
I swear I'm straight, guys. I'm not gay.
I just dress like a lesbian because it's more comfortable.
Yeah, no, I
And
like
for
the
me,
aesthetic.
if I wear fitted clothes, I think it's from like childhood trauma because my mom always wanted me to wear baggy clothing because I developed really like at 12, you know, I had
Oh,
boobs.
shit, me too.
And so I think a lot of that comes from that, but also as a comedian, you know, I never want my body looked at. I think I want to make people laugh. So in the last couple of years, you know, I've really played up the comedian costume. You know, this is like this is what comics wear.
And that's
It
the
looks
best
cute.
thing is that I love a job that I don't have to dress up.
Yeah.
I like dressing up here and there and then like being like, yeah, I clean up nice. You know?
I worked a lot of jobs where I had to clean up and I think
It's exhausting.
I think I have PTSD. So now I dress to depress.
Dress to depress.
Yeah, I like that.
I can't tell you how many times I've been told that I dress too slutty to do comedy.
My first year in comedy, I wore a romper on stage. I dressed a lot different when I first started because that I wasn't a comedian. I was me, you know, I wore shorts out everywhere. And I wore rompers and I wore, you know, stuff that accentuated my body. And then I got on stage at Flappers and the booker there, who's no longer there, came up to me and she said, your outfit was distracting.
Oh.
And she was a lesbian. And I was like,
So she was distracted.
I was like, yeah, but in my mind, I thought, well, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not just because, you know, she's a lesbian. Maybe I think it's because she's a booker and she doesn't want people to focus on my looks. She wants them to focus on my jokes. And I could understand that, but it was jarring for me because I had never been told that how I looked was a distraction.
I've been told that since day one.
I've been
Right.
told that literally since I was 9. I got boobs early.
It's never been put like that to me. I always kind of knew that if I did wear stuff, like I obviously would get that kind of attention. But again, even from when I was young, my mom, you know, encouraged me to wear baggy clothes and, you know, didn't really like, well, I remember the first time I came down in low cut jeans and like it was like a little bit higher the top and she was like, you cannot go out like that.
My mom was so strict
So I
about that.
brought that outfit wherever I went and then changed into that, you know.
My mom would make me wear
Holy
like
shit.
one pieces and like t-shirts if I was hanging out with boys, like t-shirts over my bathing suit. She was like, their dads will want to fuck you. And I'm like, I didn't understand it. I was like, no, they won't. We're just having fun.
My dad let me dress like a hooker.
I remember when that's great.
Honestly.
I love that.
I literally wore stripper heel pumps to my fucking 8th grade graduation, like a tight fucking mini skirt, and my boobs are out. And he was like, that looks good on my 8-year-old, how old was I in 8th grade? 12-year-old daughter?
That's crazy.
He was very supportive of you.
Very supportive. My boobs were not supportive though.
Aw. Well, I don't know. I think, you know, find what works for you. I definitely, what I do want to get back, I want to have better clothes. I wish I like, it's not that my clothes are bad, but like, I'm like, ugh, I miss dressing. Like I didn't have to consider what I wore when I went out to perform.
It's like a uniform.
But there are some comics, like I see some comics who just own it and they have that confidence to own like whatever, you know, maybe they'll wear stuff that is low cut or whatever. Go ahead.
Sorry, you know who does that really well? Jia Summers.
Yeah.
She has an amazing stylist. She always looks beautiful and very put together, but also sexy on stage. And
she's confident in her material in that like people aren't paying attention to that. They're laughing at what she's saying.
Yep.
So, you know, that works for her. And that's great.
I also think like Nikki Glazer dresses nice,
Yeah,
but
she also
she's like
does.
it's like a conservative sexy. So it's like, hey, I'm still a woman.
Yeah.
like I don't, but also like focus on my jokes.
Totally.
You know, I think
Yeah.
there's like a line. I don't like show my boobs anymore. I don't want anyone to even like think about it. When I started, I was like, I'm gonna wear whatever I want,
Right.
Because I'm making my own lane and
It's
fuck
you.
the rules.
Right.
That's people who've been in it for so long and shit's new.
Yeah.
And like it's more accepting. But then I don't know. I also feel way more comfortable when I'm like this.
Yes.
I feel more like when I'm feeling more like a bro, I'm better on
100%.
stage.
And that's why see, the thing is like I bro it up, but like I can clean up very nice. And I'm almost to the point, but the thing is like, I'm coming from a place of like, it's not that I want to be taken seriously as a comic, because that just seems like, you know, but I guess for me, it's like I lead with such a comic mind now that I'm almost, even if I'm hanging out with comics and it's not even a comic setting, I'm like, I feel uncomfortable wearing like a low cut top or like, cause they're gonna, I'm like, they're gonna see that side of me. That's not, that's me. And like,
that's hard. It's hard to find that balance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
'Cause it
always
also
been
makes
told I
work
was a slut.
uncomfortable.
Like
Right.
for dressing how I wanted to dress. And now I'm kind of like, why just can't I show off what I have?
right. Well, I love
you
that
also
too.
can't hide what you got.
Yeah.
I can't, no matter what I wear.
I love body confidence. I love women like of all sizes who really embrace what they wear. Like to me, that's the ultimate sexiness, is just owning who you are. And I got to admit, you know, I still am like, you know, finding who that is. And, you know, I struggle with like, you know, insecurities just like everyone else. And part of that, you know, I guess plays a part of how I dress on stage. Like I want to hide that so I can show this, you know?
Yeah, I feel that 100%.
And listen, when I started, I worked with a producer who her whole thing was, you know, you kind of dress slutty on stage. And I, as a new comic, didn't realize that that's actually not something that for me I should be doing if I want to be taken seriously as a comedian in the way that it's truly me. Because at the end of the day, I don't feel comfortable up there with my tits out. Like I really don't. Like I
don't anymore.
So listen, I have a nice body. I love my tits. My boyfriend's looking at me like, yeah,
He's like,
those
I
are
love my
nice.
tits.
Cosign, you know, and like, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, I like what I got, but I think I want people to think I'm funny.
You are funny.
You are funny.
We saw you last year at the same place that you're
Right.
opening for, that you're headlining this weekend.
And you ladies are joining me.
Hell yeah,
I'm
we
so
are.
excited.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
brother.
much.
This episode has been a long time in the making.
Yes, we
And-
wanted to talk about that.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like a year ago, I think it was in July, wasn't it?
The Burtcast episode that you were on?
Yeah.
And then you guys were coming up with like podcast names. And he said 2 girls, 1 blunt. I had DM'd him like a month, like I think like months prior, being like, "Do you want to come on 2 girls, 1 blunt?" I swear that's where it like hit.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Jamie, I think I know that name," and you guys did the whole shout out because we were so involved like with everyone in comedy because we were like, "All right, we want to take this seriously. What is everybody doing? Who are they? How are they successful? Like, you know, and trying to find what works for us along the way."
So that was super
And you
cool.
reached out. I think you'd like commented on something. You were
Yeah.
super friendly.
Of course. I love the vibe. You know, I started in weed before I got into comedy. I was making weed memes. I was working at the dispensaries. Like,
Okay.
weed has pretty much brought me, you know, it's not what I owe my everything to, but, you know, I owe a lot of my, I guess, success, which is finding who I truly am. It's a part of me. It's you know, led me to some.
Yeah.
Cannabis has been
Cool
super
places.
influential in my life. I think that's brought me to where I am today.
Like mental
Yeah.
health specifically too.
Totally.
I used to be like highly medicated. I was diagnosed bipolar, which I don't even think I'm diagnosed. I learned how to like heal my triggers and it doesn't even phase me, but I was heavily medicated and that's when I started comedy as well. And I became a zombie. Like I lost my like sharpness and my wit. And I was like, I'm done with this.
I was hospitalized when I was 12 years old at UCLA psychiatric ward, diagnosed bipolar, put on lithium, and pretty much was on pharmaceuticals. Starting at 5, I was diagnosed ADHD. My mom put me on Ritalin. So
Wow.
like between ages 5 up until 26, I was on everything. Lamictal, Seroquel.
I was on Seroquel.
Lexapro, every ADHD meds, every antidepressant. Turns out I'm not bipolar. I have borderline personality disorder, and oftentimes borderline will get misdiagnosed bipolar because the insurance companies can't bill for it because there's no medication for borderline. There's only medication for bipolar. So because borderline is not treated by medication, it's treated by talk therapy. And so, there's no benefit for the insurance companies also don't cover this specific type of therapy either, which is meant for borderline.
That's so, they don't want to fix problems. They just want to medicate them.
Right. So
And now we just smoke blunts.
right. Yep. We're part of the medication generation. That's what I call us. And we were over, medicated, undereducated, just,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was medicated from ages 8 or 9 to 16. And then when I turned 16, I was like, I think I'm going to be okay. And I cold turkeyed everything, which was actually really bad for you. And I do not recommend. Yeah. I was totally fine.
I was fine too.
2 years later, I started smoking.
No, it's not that I think, if you cut a lot of these medicines cold turkey, there are horrible side effects, but I'm also wondering if they tell us that so that you don't come off of it,
Yeah.
I also have noticed, and I'm curious as to what the statistics are, but I'm meeting more and more and more women, more than men, who have been medicated from a very young age. And I think it's because of the idea that women were supposed to sit there and look pretty and be quiet. Women are seen, they're not heard. And that's a generation thing. And we were at the very tail end of that.
Because back in the day,
mentality.
Women on their period, they'd be like, she's hysteric. They would give people lobotomies.
I don't think I necessarily
emotions.
talked any more than the guy class clown, but yet I was seen as a distraction. Like that's what I would get written on my report cards. Like, she's smart, but she's a distraction. And it's like, well,
that's what I got too. Yeah.
I would get she's a pleasure in class, but she won't stop reading books.
Good for you.
Sorry.
I got written up like every other week, but they were like, you have straight A's. Like, you're top of your class. Why are you such a punk? And I'd be like, my dad
they were mad at you for reading, and
I learned cursive in kindergarten, and I got sent to the principal's office because I wouldn't stop writing in cursive.
Yeah, they make us
because people were just learning how to write.
I think it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'd be curious to the statistics behind that. I think obviously I know a lot of guys who had ADHD and went through the medication gauntlet as well. But I'm meeting more and more women who are coming forward with, I was diagnosed bipolar, but it turns out I'm this, and a lot of us. So
there's a lot of misdiagnoses out there.
Yeah.
So many.
And underdiagnoses.
Yeah. I'm like, you need help.
I had this tweet. I said, too many people think they're funny and not enough know they're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what?
Some people think
both.
that's synonymous.
And exactly.
We're both.
Luckily, we're both.
Thank God. I wouldn't have my personality without my mental illness.
No.
Sure.
As I actually started healing my shit, so I went through like a spiritual awakening in 2020, and I cut off friends, and I just sat with my thoughts for the first time, and I learned how to be alone, and that shit was
horrifying.
Yeah. But then it was peaceful, and I started looking at everything positively. Like, if I got cut off on the road, I'd be like, he's having a bad day. They need to get there more than I do. And instead of having something that sparks me ranting or a joke about it because I'm pissed off, I had nothing to say because I was like, nope, everything's good. And I stopped. I feel like I lost my humor, my sense of humor as a result. But then I'm getting it back.
You got it back.
I'm learning how to balance it.
You got your groove back. For sure. Love that.
It's fun. All right. Well, we haven't even introduced you.
No, we
oh my
haven't.
God, that was just
we were just talking.
That was the first segment.
I know. We do that every time. We kind of get into a conversation and then we actually introduce you.
Great.
But this is a very full circle moment after the Burkcast shout out. He had on the lovely Rachel Wolfson, stoner extraordinaire, hilarious stand-up comedian. She was on Jackass 4.5, Jackass Forever. She's fucking
first
awesome.
Female on Jackass.
Hell yeah.
That's sweet.
First female stoner.
Oh,
That's the best part. Did you get to smoke on set?
I will not confirm or deny any of that. But I will say I have smoked with some of the guys offset.
Hell yeah.
So some of them, yeah, some of them.
I love
Who's
that.
like the coolest person you've ever smoked weed with?
The coolest person?
Or like where you were just like, I can't believe I got to smoke weed with that person.
Oh, I can't say. I
signed an
can't
NDA?
say. It's just, if I told you the coolest person, I just feel like I can't say, but some people are in the green closet still. And they may not,
The green closet?
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
I just think, I don't know who knows
Yeah.
what, and I don't want to out someone's, not that like.
Okay, who's the second coolest?
Okay. That's not who, but that's who I was thinking, but that's not what who I'm gonna say. He's the camera's not on Matt, is it?
No.
I'm trying to think of someone I could say. Wait, I'm trying to think of who I smoked with maybe at the premiere or something, but I've smoked with a lot of different comedians.
I smoked a blunt with Adriana Chechik.
Who's that?
She's like
A model?
Was that pre or post back injury?
This is post back injury.
She's a porn star who went to like a video conference and there was a ball pit and she went in it, landed on her tailbone and broke her back.
And it was this whole thing, like, yeah. But she's like one of the top, like, porn
Do you
stars.
know Alexis
That's the one who's,
Fox?
Yes.
yeah.
That's my girl. I smoked mad weed with her.
Doesn't she have the highest FOC?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She
I
has the
love
highest
her.
what?
I think it's highest FOC podcast.
Highest Fox. Yeah. Highest Fox. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Love her. You guys should definitely link up with her.
Oh.
She comes to Miami a lot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
She
awesome.
would love you ladies. Hell
That'd
yeah.
be so fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who comes to mind that I don't want to get in trouble who like people don't already know. Oh, okay. Tom DeLonge.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Blink 182.
Oh, I don't know
shit.
names. I'm so bad with
You
names.
guys are so young.
No, I know
love
Blink 182. But we
Okay,
don't.
thank God.
I'll listen to music. I never cared or put any like artists on a pedestal where I learned about their life. I was like, I like this song. I don't care who's singing.
Well,
it.
because I was a Blink 182 fan growing up. Like, I brought Matt home. He's seen my like childhood like trunk that has like the Blink 182 sticker. He instantly got a boner, and so he. Oh my God. So Tom DeLonge was at the Comedy Store one night, and like Matt got word, of course, and he had a spot. So like we're going, and then like as we walk in, the booker like lets Matt know like that Tom DeLonge's in the back, and so like. Matt shows up before me, and so I show up to the store, and the booker's like, "Go in the back. That's where Matt is." And so I walk in the back, and Matt's like in the corner, and then like Tom DeLonge's in the other corner with like his hot wife, and his hot wife. And so I walk in, and I'm like, are you gonna fuck him? Like, why are you sitting in the corner over there? Like,
He's been a bad boy.
I'm like, ask him to smoke weed. Like, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna roll something, and then you're gonna go over and ask him to smoke weed. And so me and our friend Hormos are like rolling this. Like he's rolling a joint, I'm rolling a blunt, so he has options. And I'm like, okay, what's our game plan? And like Hormos is like, I think we should just go over there and ask him if he wants to smoke. And I'm like, okay, right. And so Hormos walks over there, and he's like, do you want to smoke weed? And I'm like pointing to like the blunt. Yeah. Like, and then what did he say, babe? He was like,
I'm afraid if I smoke weed, I'm going to say something dumb.
and then, but
Then
fuck
again,
it. Yeah.
I always
say something dumb. Yeah. And then he was like, let's do it. And so, yeah, we go in the back, and like, I'm just watching my boyfriend have the biggest boner smoking weed with Tom DeLonge. And I'm so glad I got to witness his wet dream come true.
Oh, that's so cute.
yeah. That's so cute.
Okay,
yeah.
who would you want to smoke with if you could choose someone?
Who? Oh my God, probably like a reality star from, Bravo or something, or 90 Day Fiancé, just like real amazing, like
Real Americans.
To me, celebrities just don't do it for me anymore. Like, give me Vanderpump Rules. Like, give me, Real Housewife of Miami.
What about Jersey? Jersey Shore?
Fuck
Yeah.
it up.
Oh, Jersey Shore.
Of course, Bad Girls Club. Like, give me someone from Bad Girls Club. Like,
Yeah,
like,
let's
to
just
me,
smoke with the whole
I'm
group of bad girls.
starstruck with that. But like, if you put, I don't know who's a popular
Brad Pitt.
Sandoval.
I think we did, but I don't want to. I'm no longer proud of that. Yeah, we may or may not have consumed cannabis with some of the Vanderpump Rules cast. That's right. Was it at the Jackass premiere?
Oh, hell yeah.
Why are you no longer proud of that?
Sandoval? Because he cheated on my girl Ariana.
I haven't watched this.
I've never seen this.
Oh my God, Vanderpump Rules.
How many seasons?
Do you
is
not
it?
care about our country?
We're not patriots. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm a Vanderpatriot. Like I guess, I just love
What is
Bravo.
it on?
Bravo.
Where do I watch? How do I watch
What's
that?
Bravo?
Start from season 1. You don't know what Bravo is?
We got
I'm an MTV girl. Jersey Shore all the way, bro.
I'm an MTV girl. I grew up on MTV, but like now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, okay, I need women who are like older than me or my age. You know what I mean? Like, because when I was growing up watching MTV, those people were all so much older than me. And now I watch MTV and they're fucking younger than me.
That's scary.
And I'm like, okay, I can't watch this comfortably because I'm like, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, this makes me feel bad. Like, you guys are fucking up your life, but I can watch women, get divorced from rich men and ruin their lives. So like my tastes have changed,
Okay.
I love that. We're all here for.
I can't wait for my evolution.
I can't watch kids destroy their lives anymore, but I can watch, women destroy their husbands' lives. And to me, that's evolving.
Good luck.
That's evolving.
Is that a joke yet?
No.
I think that needs to be a joke.
There's something there.
I'll add it to the. My tastes have matured, so that's all I'm saying is give it a chance.
Only husbands that deserve it, though.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not just good husbands.
No, like the shit ones that are fucking other people.
Never cheating for a
ones.
good husband, but the bad husbands. I'm sorry.
Take them down.
Don't be a bad husband.
Is it kind of like
don't be a bad wife either.
Oh, what was that? Desperate Housewives show.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's what Vanderpump gives like the vibes of, like drama, murder.
I never got into Desperate Housewives, but
all my children.
Vanderpump. I think what I love about it is I've always loved LA. As a kid, I've always loved the idea of moving to LA, living in LA. My dad's from LA. He was born and raised in Van Nuys, went to high school, college in California. So part of me has always been California. And Vanderpump just is like quintessential California Hollywood story. These kids are working at a restaurant and they're, pursuing their dreams and they're all sleeping with each other and they're all cheating on each other and, and they're dressing scandalous and for me, that's the American dream.
Yeah.
So I love it.
That's the American dream.
That's my take.
Hot take from Rachel Wolfson.
Hot take.
Divorce your shitty husbands, ladies.
And put it on TV so I can watch it. Oh, and if you
we could be a part of it.
If you never
want to
watched
hire us.
90 Day Fiancé, that's a whole universe
What
you
about
should get
Ed?
into. Ed. Oh my God, he follows me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Love Ed. Big Ed.
So you would smoke with him?
I would smoke a big blunt with Big Ed.
So it looks like his neck.
I would smoke one wider than his neck. I'm like, come on, Big Ed. Big Ed.
Go big or go home.
Go big.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh, I do love that Rose is like living her best life now after she left him.
Oh my goodness. Remember when they were like showering with her dad? Would you ever, okay.
Wait,
would
what?
You, okay. Oh, you haven't seen this?
No.
This is why you need to watch this.
I watched like Too Hot to Handle and Love Island.
No, so Big Ed is not big, but he is named Ed, and he dated Rose she was from, I forget which country she was from, Philippines?
Yeah, Philippines.
And I mean, Rose just, comes from the ultimate poverty. I mean, you've never seen poverty like that before captured. I mean, and that's the other thing is they really capture these people in their environment as they are. There's no sugarcoating any of the realness.
It's their life.
It's and so
there's not like scripted.
So no, so there's a version where people from America will date someone from another country and they come over and it's the 90 days before they have to get married, right? And then there's the other version where someone from America will go over to the other country and try to live with them in their country. So it's like all about assimilating in
Oh,
these countries
shit.
and like the expectations of dating someone from another country. Like in this season, there's a guy from America, he's deaf and he's dating someone from, I forget which country, and there's already a language barrier. But this woman, she learned sign language for him.
Wait, I saw that on TikTok.
It's like, and some of them you're like, some of them you're like, they really love each other. I'm going along for it. I'm along for the journey. And then there are others where you're like, I can't comfortably watch this because they're being they're putting themselves on the show, so it's not like they're being exploited, but it feels like, you know,
like, this
they're
is
being
wrong to
exploited
watch.
by who they're dating, and we're just capturing it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that
And
is
so-
hard
They're
to
vulnerable.
watch.
And so, you know, it's just, so Big Ed was dating Rose, and Rose brought him over to the country, and he's seeing where she comes from. And I'm telling you, it's horrific. It's not even a structure in which they, it's a I don't know what they would call it, like a little
It's like
shed.
leaning,
not,
kind of?
It's just like, it's a shack, I guess. And there's rats, and there's no. And so the way they shower is like, I think just like pouring, I don't know. There's like, I don't know how they get the water, but it's Rose, her dad, and Big Ed showering together, like what you would call showering. And,
Naked?
pretty, not naked,
Oh my
but like,
God.
you know, they're all like topless. No, well, she's, you know, they're
Yeah.
bathing together. Even if they weren't, you know, it's like,
That's a lot.
so yeah, that was,
Hey, babe, you want to go shower with my dad?
but it's, you know,
We have to conserve water.
For me, it would just be an urn.
yeah, it didn't work out between Big Ed and
Thank God.
Rose and his.
There was like a TikTok sound that went super viral.
I see it
That you would
all
know.
over TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're about to dab, guys. We are smoking on shit from the Flowery dispensary in Florida. They got 3 locations. Check them out. They're the best. We went to their grow facility.
Dude, it was fucking insane. Literally, you walk in, it's a stoner's wet dream. There's weed freaking everywhere. They hand roll all of their joints. So you just watch people roll up and
And it's not
It
like
was beautiful.
It's not like the shake or anything. They actually like grind up real nugs for their pre-rolls.
we're smoking on 710 Labs.
We love them. Shout out.
Shout out to
we like
710.
710.
They're fucking dope. I think this is the only dispensary they work with in Florida.
Do you have the thingy for this? We keep getting hemper boxes.
Wait,
I thought
no,
I canceled
that's-
my subscription.
No, me too.
And
I get two a month.
Yes.
I literally give them
Yes.
out at my shows now.
Oh,
Wait,
that's smart.
Yeah, you should do giveaways.
We want to start doing that, actually. Guys, so make sure you follow us on Instagram because we're going to be posting a giveaway soon. If you don't follow us on Instagram, what the fuck are you doing?
Shout out to Hemper for sponsoring the
For sponsoring my last hit. Thank you so much at Hemper Co. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Should we do, is that a little boy? Or do we do a fat one?
I needed to heat up so it'll come off this thing.
I need like whatever a regular size dab would be. Let's start there. Obsessed with these green chairs also.
They're so cute.
Just wanted to point it out.
We put this whole studio together in like 2 days.
What?
It just all came together.
Love that.
All right.
Oh,
I gotta suck on that.
yeah, suck it real. Oh, whoa, that was a big one. Also, shout out, we got this dab rig from, it's a Dr. ex Khalifa Kush, and they sent this to us. That was a great hit.
We saw like where they made this. We went into the 710 Labs like room where they make all of this. It was so cold.
It was freezing.
It is so
So I didn't know this.
High
We're
quality.
learning. We're shitty stoners. We love smoking weed, but we don't know anything about it. so we just
yeah, like
smoke
I just
it.
want to get high. Like,
That was a good one.
but
was
we
a
went talking
good
to people,
hit.
they're like, you should. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That just made me laugh so hard as I was smoking that I came close to death. But
I thought you were just gonna say I came.
that too. I think it's hilarious that you don't know anything about weed, but I love that you own it because, one, listen, there's people who've been a part of the culture who, and, you know, have been old school stoners who'll be like, you know, criticize you about how you smoke weed, where, you know, what you smoke, you know, especially as someone who's been on the like content side of the industry. Mm-hmm. And I get a lot of feedback about, oh, you're wasting weed, when I roll blunt. It's just, for me, it's like, welcome to the community. If you're all about weed, just be, that's all we need.
We're just here to get high.
And so I think like, it's like, who cares, Who cares how you smoke?
Yeah. I feel like the real OGs just smoke blunts.
And the best part about weed is like, it really does, you can do it with anyone. It really does like.
I'm struggling with this so hard.
It brings people together.
Especially like if you have like an issue with someone, like, sometimes a joint will just solve that.
That's so true.
It really does.
So true.
I've literally squashed beefs with like, hey, let's smoke a joint about it.
I actually did that last week.
Long-term beefs.
Oh, long-term?
I've tried to extend, a blunt before to people and they haven't wanted to like reciprocate that back. But I think some of the best makeups, friendship makeups, have been over a joint or some weed.
Amen. Well, that tastes amazing.
That was the diamonds. That was the.
I think a joint could solve world peace.
I think also too.
Yeah.
No one talks about how good weed is for networking.
Oh, it's so good for
socializing. If you go anywhere and you're like, I got a blunt, anyone want to smoke?
That's what I'm saying.
You could get anyone to have a conversation with you.
I've been in places where like we're all just kind of like sitting around, like not really saying anything to each other, and then like the second someone busts out like some weed, it's like we're in a different place.
Yep.
Oh, like now we're friends.
Yeah, it really is a
barrier's
community.
lifted. Like we have something in common now. Like, okay, what else do you like?
Yeah.
I think that's how I've made all my friends since I turned 18. Hey, you want to smoke this?
I don't really have friends who don't smoke weed, but like I have friends. I have a few friends who don't, their parents or like they're not like hardcore, but they, they support my, relationship. But most of my friends are stoners, I feel like.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are stoners, or they were stoners, and now they're like, oh, I don't smoke because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I'm
But they're
like, you still have the stoner mentality.
They're not judgmental.
Yeah.
Like,
I could never date somebody who doesn't smoke weed.
Oh, I've been there, done that.
No.
And you have to like hide it, or they're like, why do you have to smoke so much?
So when I was living here in Florida, when I was going to college down here, this guy came out to visit me, and it was right when dabs were hitting Florida. This was like over 10 years ago. And this was back when people were like blasting in their apartment. My friend was like trying to do extractions, like almost setting themselves on fire. Like
using like a straightener.
Blasters, bro. Like
What?
it's like in my apartment complex, and like it's just super dumb shit that just should not be happening. And so, this guy, so I had gotten a dab rig, and by the way, this is back when dabs, like it was so bad, it was black. It looked like heroin.
That's
like
disgusting.
It should not look that color, but it was just like, it was right when
Wow.
like Florida was, it was getting out there, and
So
people
it was
were,
heroin.
people were doing it probably.
Surprise.
Yeah, joke's on me. And so I had this dab rig, and so I bring this guy home, and he takes one look at the dab rig, and he takes one look at the torch, and then he looks at me, and he's like, oh, if you're going to do that, we cannot be together.
Oh, he thought you were a crackhead. I've had people be like, why do you have a crack pipe?
100%.
Because it is a crack pipe. It's just like a long glass tube, and I would just light the tip and
when you're hanging out with are people who do that, and you think that's normal. And then you bring someone who, and the crazy part is he was from California, so like it was like it's not weird weed's not weird or like foreign to him, but I think the torch and the like,
it looks like a lot.
The setup was,
I had a little glass bowl. You heat it up, you put the dabs in, and you have a long crack pipe.
And I hold it with my spoon, actually.
I've literally seen people heat it up though on a knife too, and just like,
wait, I've seen that too.
Yeah, and they use a tool like it's very crack adjacent.
Yeah. It doesn't.
So
yeah, people like
I can see why
we got questioned a lot on that.
I can see why people are intimidated by it, but do what you want.
There's so much advancements in technology though. Like that
Pupco.
fucking dab rig. We have a Pupco. Stun just sent us a fucking vaporizer that turns any bong you have into a dab rig.
Yeah.
This shit's
We
crazy.
get so much. Do you get a lot of weed stuff?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I get 2 hemper boxes a month. Like I have an inventory. I don't know what personality do you want this month? I get sent really, I love the love from the community, from the dispensaries, from any, high times. I got to, do a judging for the cup and stuff.
Oh, did you do their drinks, the high time drink one?
Nope. I said indica flower. Otherwise I'm not doing it,
Yeah. just got the bags to be judges and never went or judged anything.
Okay.
But the bags
But it
were
was
great.
a High Times backpack, and it was filled to the brim.
Oh,
with
you got the
all
drinks.
different edible drinks.
Yeah,
and
see,
shots.
I don't really do the edible drinks or the edibles.
We actually have a great edible drink we've started drinking, and fuck.
Oh yeah, they're on the table.
Yeah,
What is it called?
It's malanga. It's a yerba mate. Is that how we
Oh,
pronounce
It's like
it?
an energy brew, like type tea.
You know what I would
thing.
drink? A CBD peach iced tea.
It's peach ginger.
It's peach ginger, and this one's only 5 milligrams of THC, 5 milligrams, and the THC is from hemp, and then 5 milligrams CBD, and but the ones that we tried initially were 20 milligrams.
Yeah.
THC,
So good.
and that shit was amazing. Like, I would start my day with every single one of those.
I just get tired when I do edibles.
These, I literally
it's
drank.
an
Oh
energy
my
drink.
God. That's why I feel like I'm on Adderall. Because I had 5 of those yesterday. How many did we have? Like 2 or 3?
I thought I only had one.
Oh, maybe I had 1. I don't know. I cleaned for so long. I stayed up till 4 a.m.
They're going to cut a commercial to you being like, oh, I drank 5 of them. It was like I was on Adderall. And then that's the commercial.
You don't
Thank
even
you.
And this is what we're trying to do. The natural routes, we don't have to be on medication.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh my God.
No, but that's so funny because I felt like I was on Adderall, and I went to a man's house. He was actually on Adderall. And so he was like, I'm pulling an all-nighter. And I was like, well, I don't have a real job, so like I'm here. And we looked at the clock. It was 3 a.m. We hadn't left the balcony, stopped talking, and we didn't do anything we were supposed to do.
Did you guys start a business?
Yeah, we did. He was like, let's start a podcast. We actually talked about it. And then I come home and I open the door thinking Emily's passed out, and she's just on the couch, and I like look at her and she looks at me, and it was both like, what are we doing up this late?
Shit,
yeah.
that shit's good. If you ever need to do something, take one of those. and
We'll
you'll be
give you one to go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just stay up forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
better than cocaine.
Yeah. Okay. The commercial. That's their slogan. Better than cocaine.
I don't know if they actually want to use that.
That's, they're so like healthy and all natural, and we're like, drugs.
Well, doesn't cocaine come from the earth?
Wait,
Well, it's also,
I
isn't it
don't
like
know what
cement
cocaine
too?
is.
They mix like cement and a bunch of other stuff.
It's from a plant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a different
I think
We
podcast.
need a
it's-
producer,
it's
'cause
a
then he could tell us.
cacao
3
plant.
girls, 1
Brain cell.
No, it's like a cacao plant.
1
Isn't
cocaine.
it? It's cacao plant and cement.
Yeah.
Wait, it's chocolate? Cocaine is chocolate?
Wait, what is cocaine?
Oh my God, that's a
Alexa,
clip.
what the fuck?
Wait, I'm gonna find out. It's a tropane alkaloid that acts.
That sounds fake.
Okay, that's not what's in cocaine. How is cocaine made? Let's do that. How is...
Once we go down this rabbit hole,
Didn't
ladies.
you see the Gordon Ramsay? I thought it was Gordon Ramsay, and he like went and saw how like cocaine was made in the wood, like in like the
shit.
jungle, and how they were like making it down there, and he's like just like riffing off of it. Like
I love Gordon Ramsay.
yeah, me too. How is cocaine?
Is he does
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen? Mm-hmm. Wow.
What else does he do?
Okay, it's from the coca plant, which is usually grown in South America. Interesting because of its stimulant properties. Coca leaf, maybe if I could read, coca leaf extract was an ingredient in Coca-Cola. Yeah, because they
used to have cocaine.
Back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's what I'm saying. It's, it's natural, so why wouldn't they claim it?
It's
better than
the leaf
cocaine.
mixture.
It's better than the natural plant, cacao plant.
The
That
leaf
does
mixture
cocaine.
is sometimes sprinkled with cement to bind the
That's
leaves
insane.
together and make the next step of the process easier.
Bro, we're snorting cement. Well, who's we? But you're snorting cement?
Yeah. Stop
Did I
snorting
just say
cement.
Snorting?
Snoting the cement.
I can't speak.
That's crazy.
Do you ever have moments when you're on a podcast and you're like, "Dib-a-dib-a-doop," and I can't speak? And what am I saying?
I have moments where I'm like, what are we talking about?
Just like right now.
Yeah.
You had that moment.
I did at one point when I was like, oh yeah, I was talking about my ex with the dabs. I forgot where I was going, but I pulled it in quickly.
That happens to this
Okay.
whole podcast is a shit show because we don't have a producer. We don't have anything. Everyone listening, they already know. And they
You're
just go
telling
with
me
it.
2 Girls, 1 Blunt doesn't have a producer
I know. Isn't that crazy?
And
and they
Sanity.
self-produce? You know, that's not surprising to me though.
It's because we're women and we're like, we have to do everything
in
ourselves.
STEM.
Yeah. I don't know. Stems. No stems.
Oh.
Women
no
in no
seeds,
stems.
no
Women, no stems.
Yeah.
No seeds, no stems in this bitch.
No, but you know what? Like, the thing is you've come this far, and I feel like you ladies will manifest a producer. It's coming. It's just like, just hold out a little bit longer.
Because we don't want to have to
People
deal
are
with the
going to
wrong
be
one.
leaving LA and looking for jobs in Miami, and they have
That's true.
20 years podcasting experience.
Or if we go to Austin.
Or if we manifest this,
We have our own
lot of producers
podcast
there.
studio.
I'm manifesting an apartment in Austin, New York City, and Miami.
we're all This is
Yes.
a manifestation station.
Everybody say,
You have to light up to it. You have to set the intention into the blunt. Do you do that? Set intentions into your blunt?
I feel like I do.
Are you like,
Sometimes
I'm
I'm
going to
like-
have great sex tonight.
Yeah. Or I'm like, I'm going to make a lot of money.
I'm not going to have a breakdown in public.
I'm not getting pregnant this year.
Maybe I will if this is a sativa.
You get breakdowns of sativas?
No, it's not a breakdown, but sometimes it's not even like a sativa. It's whatever those those
Is it too like hyperactive mind? Like
Bro,
it just
what are
like
terpenes?
increases.
it's the smell and taste, right?
It's like, think of it like tannins to wine, I guess, but it's a flavor profile of like, like for instance, like OGs, which I like have like myrcene and linalool, and like they're more likely to have a certain terpene profile. So like you can't really think of it necessarily as like indica or sativa. It's more like what flavor profiles do you
A
like?
hint of nuttiness.
Yeah, so that would probably be pinene.
I want to become a weed sommelier.
Or like that's more like a pinene is like pine.
Have you smoked Star Dog?
Star Dog. Probably I've smoked so much.
I feel like that one has gotten me the most high.
I love
Every time I smoked it.
Chem 911.
I just love OGs. I mean, like I love garlic cookies. I love anything garlic.
We're like, we don't have much of this. Now we have med cards. And so now we are actually looking at strains, but I'm just used to being like, yo, bro, what you got?
So when I lived here, when I went to college here, it was either 50 or 60 shit.
Yeah.
What do you want? The 50 shit or the 60 shit?
Yeah,
I miss the old days.
Always the 60 shit.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like my,
Dealers are always, they'll be like 50 shit or 60 shit. They're both gas though. I'm like, no, then you get the 60 shit sometimes and then it's like not.
My old dealer here was Mac Miller's best friend.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
And he dated my best friend. And so he had the best weed. And
That's dope.
yeah,
You want to date the friend who's dating. You want to have a friend who's dating
that's
a dealer.
how her and I became best friends, because I was buying so much weed and she's like, whose place are you going to like every day?
Who is this
Because I
bitch?
would purchase in eighths, because like, I would
that's
only
crazy.
get so much money. Like I would only, like my parents would only give me so much money like in college, and the rest I would have to like, I'd be
Responsible.
working. Yeah. So it's like, I can't, just spend all this. So I would buy it in like $50 increments every day, based off like the tips I get from the restaurant the night before. And so she was like, why do you go there every single day? I need to meet this person. And because he was like, it's this girl. And she's like, it's a girl. And so she walks in and my friend's wearing this dope jacket. It's like this jean jacket. And I was like, nice jacket. Want to smoke a joint?
Yep, that's how
Full
it starts.
circle.
And that was the start of a friendship.
A beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
We have to do another dab. I feel like that woke us up.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Whatever.
Call me Abraca-DABra. Abraca-DABra.
Oh my god, that's
man.
so good.
I'm literally in shock right now.
Are you shook?
I'm shook.
Last thing we smoked were the diamonds, and that was really good.
Is that like moon rocks of dabs? Diamonds?
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't really dab that much. This is a special occasion. So I was like, I can't turn down dabs with 2 girls, 1 blunt.
No.
Oh, you guys, don't worry. I brought you the best podcast producer Craigslist has to offer.
This is exactly what we've been looking for.
Is that where you found him?
Well, basically, I found him at...
How did y'all meet?
We met at the Comedy Store.
So I would love to date a comic. That'd be like the dream.
do you want to give yourself more mental illness?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
do you want
actually.
to live a normal life?
No, I need the chaos.
Okay, well,
I thrive.
If you are someone who's seeking this position, it's like a corporate job. But also, like, I'm like,
I never wanted to get in the way of work, so how do you navigate that?
my advice, I guess, is if you're going to date, if you're going to choose to put yourself in the lion's den, well, listen, there's many benefits to dating a comedian.
They work nights.
My parents both worked together and had a law firm together and worked in the same industry together and basically built a life like that together. It's a lot of time together and also a lot of, so for me, that wasn't weird.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but they always, of course, went off and did their thing at times, but ultimately, they always supported each other. And
love
so, there are going to be moments, I'm not going to lie, there can't be any comedy couple out there who doesn't experience like the rejection and the envy that, for example,
If someone's doing better or something.
Matt's been doing it double as long as I have. He's been doing it for 16 years. And so I have a mentor in him in comedy. Like he is someone I can go to when I'm having these feelings and these thoughts, when I'm feeling envious of another comic or if I'm feeling insecure or, he's been there. He's been in the trenches. So he knows how to guide me in that. But, he's also dealing with someone who struggles with mental health. And a lot of the root of my mental illness is rejection and abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
amen, sister.
So for him,
I can see the talk therapy is helping.
Well, I finally found a really good therapist, ironically, not in Los Angeles. It's one of the worst places, in my opinion, to be mentally ill. And you're around everyone's mentally ill because that's what, it's mental illness that drives you to be in LA.
Yeah. And
ultimately.
to be like
and
somebody.
talent. Most of the time it's both,
Yeah.
However, you're dealing with a lot of not talented mentally ill people and delusional people. And sometimes you get caught up in other people's delusions because you can't, so for me, I really found a good partner in Matt because he only wants to support me. Like he only wants me to be on the stages that he's on. He wants me to be successful. And, there's been no part of him like holding me back or trying to sabotage. Like he's gone out of his way, to really mentor me. It's not fun, especially when you've gone through it as a comedian. I mean, Matt loves comedy so much. I feel like he would mentor, but no, not really. I think he, it's different with me and him because he, I'm not the only comedian he's dated, but I feel like I am the funniest one he's dated. And
shots fired.
I think that, for him, he really does believe in me. And it's not just because he's my boyfriend. It's because he's a good comedian and he knows what good comedy is. So that's the difference is you really, if you are going to date a comedian, it has to be someone who truly, truly finds you funny and supports you. Do not date a guy who doesn't think you're funny or thinks he's funnier than you. You know what I mean? Because that's not it. You guys are both funny. There's no funny or funny less. You guys are funny and you're funny together. And hopefully you guys are funny together. Don't date someone who's who doesn't believe in your funniness and your hotness.
Yes.
And don't date someone who thinks your funniness doesn't make you hot. You want to date someone who's like, the funny you are, the hotter I fucking, it only makes
it just
the boner
adds to
bigger.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
The last guy I actually was seeing didn't like my stand-up, and he would tell me, and I would, now looking back, that's a red flag.
You made him insecure.
Yeah, but
you're funnier than him.
Yeah. I remember
am.
one time he wrote a joke and he was very excited to show us the joke, and there was not a single punchline. We were like, I was like, that's a run-on sentence.
It's because you were funnier than he is. You know.
I intimidated him.
Yeah.
Sorry, bitch.
The guy that I just started talking to is a comedy fan. Mm-hmm. And so he had checked out the podcast and he's come to a show and stuff. And then last night, because we were both semi on Adderall, he was just just kind of praising me. He was just I think you're so funny. You're just you are gonna be so much funnier. Like I watch this, I like study comedy, like this is my thing, and I'm like, I think you're doing a really good job.
It's okay to date someone who's intimidated by your funniness, but don't date someone who's threatened by it.
Yeah.
Because
That's an
of
important
course,
distinction.
anyone is intimidated by someone funny. No matter the gender, no matter if they're dating you or not, funny is a power. And that's intimidating to people because, you know, what are you going to get? You never know. It's a weapon. So you don't want someone, again, who's like, you know, going to see that as like bad or like try to shame you for it.
Okay.
Like that is a beautiful talent and a strength that the person you're dating should only nurture that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can tell if somebody is kind of threatened by it by the comments they make. Like people, like a comic went up to Emily and was like, "Oh, are you going to do these shows? Or are you too all high and mighty because of your podcast?" Or like, "Oh, you must. It must be nice getting shows because of like the podcast to us and stuff." And we're like,
maybe we're just funny.
Maybe you just bombed right before.
Well, that's the thing is unsuccessful people will always find a reason for your success. It won't be ever because you worked hard to get there. It's because, of this or because of that. Like I read a comment online. Someone was like, Rachel's parents bought her into Jackass or something. Like my parents could like purchase a way in or like they bought me a career in comedy. I was like, that is not a thing. Like,
yeah, you
that's
can't
just
do
like,
that.
That's just not a thing. Yeah. What were we talking about before the internet? The things people say to us?
Oh,
I've got a comment.
Yeah, about how like people will just say the worst, craziest. But I forget what we were saying about that before.
we were saying like people say things to put you down or fuck the weed.
Stoners.
That's fine.
That's why we need the producer to tell. Matt, where were you?
Yeah, this is how
What were we talking about?
I don't even know what I was thinking.
Well, honestly, we were talking about also just like what, being with a comic, if you're going to be with someone,
they have to like not be threatened by you and
or,
like build you up.
Right. Things like that. And I forget.
I would have to think the comic is funny to date him.
Oh yeah. That's who I have to think they're funny.
Okay. So the first time we performed in front of each other, it was like so nerve wracking. I think I threw up.
I've definitely had comics that like we are maybe interested in each other. Like it starts there, but like nothing happens. And like we've performed in front of each other and I'm like, oh, they're nervous right now. And I'm like, haha, I like that. I like seeing them nervous a little to like impress me,
If he wasn't funny, we would never be together.
Yeah.
But I honestly, before Matt, I think that's what I was trying to say. For some reason, but before Matt, I think I've only dated guys who never found me funny. And you know what? They were mostly stupid.
But that's the thing too, like it's just not, some people are not everyone's cup of tea. Like, it's okay if some people don't think I'm funny.
Think for me, it's like, why was I so into guys who were clearly not into the real me?
Because you want to prove it.
Because
yeah,
I think I seeked my parents and these other guys. And with Matt, I sought myself, which was, a comedian.
That's like a soulmate too.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's really sweet.
Yeah.
It works. I've dated guys too who I was like, just for me, like mental health wise, it was really hard dating.
Yeah.
And I dated a guy who came from a really good family, rich, like multiple houses, and they had nothing really wrong. Like maybe the mom was an alcoholic, but like she still loved their kids. Like she was a good alcoholic,
right?
She
was
like
a fun drunk.
Yeah.
She's not like a regular mom. She's
a cool mom.
I did shrooms with her. It was so sick.
Yeah.
A cool mom.
Yeah.
Literally out
cool.
of Mean Girls.
But,
totally.
During the holidays is when all my family trauma happened. So I've had multiple things. It was like I lost both cats. My mom had like crazy, like 2 medications not work, and she went off. And so like right before Christmas, it was like a really traumatizing thing. And then my dad passes away. It was like, so that whole area of the month, and this is why I was diagnosed bipolar, because that time period from September to like March, and September is going into it, and March is like January to March is coming out of it, was just this like really lull period. My anxiety was higher. Even if I was good and everything in my life was good, I didn't know why that was happening. And it was just like, because I hadn't processed that time period and my body was still reacting. I forgot what the point I was making for that, but
no idea where we were.
Wow.
We're just getting
Someone
more
has to
high.
keep track of what we're talking about.
Damn.
No, we were talking about dating. We were talking about you've always dated.
Oh, and so I was in a time period where I was super like having bad anxiety. And like I remember I forgot a gift to go to his family's Christmas party, and they were all rich, and that meant a lot to me, like to bring something and like and whatever. And we left at his house, which was like 30 minutes away.
Never want to show up empty-handed.
No.
Like it's okay if you do, probably, because they like no one really cares. But to like as Jews, like you never really show up.
No, I
empty-handed.
always show up, and I like made gifts. Like I had made them handmade because I was like, what do you get rich people? And I'm like trying to be a part of the fam, and I like am art. Like I like to do art and stuff, so I like made them cool stuff. And we left, and I was like, "Can we please turn around?" I was like having a panic attack, and he was like, it was a lot for him just to like turn around because I was having anxiety, and I was like, "You can't even see that like I don't even go to family parties. I never had a family." So like this is a big deal for me, and like making a good impression. And I remember we like broke up, and he was just like, I couldn't deal with like your ups and downs. And I was like, it was like 1 month of ups and downs.
He sounds so emotionally immature.
Right?
If he couldn't handle a situation like that, that's literally what you're going to have to do to a child when they're freaking out. He's not a provider. He's not going to be a good father.
Yeah. When I was first finding out about like borderline and really just like kind of realizing that what I was told that I had wasn't necessarily what I had. There's a lot of, when it comes to dating, shame that goes into at what point do you tell this person that you struggle with mental health or that you live with it or that you're managing it. Just that there's a discussion to be had. Like, and a lot of couples who maybe don't have that, it's not like, it's like that's something that we deal with, that like people who don't have mental health never have to have that conversation. Like they talk about, oh, do you want to have kids? Like, what's your religion? Like, do you have health insurance? Like for us, it's like, okay, well, if the other person doesn't have mental health issues, like one, that's a conversation. Like, how do you have that conversation even when you're dating? And then it's like, okay, well, maybe if you haven't had that conversation, how do you bring up your own mental health struggles? Because ultimately when you're dating someone, the cracks are going to start to show. And at a certain point, it's kind of like also telling, like you have to let people know, like you maybe have mental health. And like, then there's another conversation. Like for me personally, I had to tell that person, like for mental health, I smoke weed. And that's like two things that I think people have a hard time understanding and wrapping their mind around if they've never really gone through it themselves or experienced that. So in dating, it's like, when do you have that conversation? So I told this guy, here's how I told him, because ultimately, this is still fresh to me, whatever the idea of borderline or whatever. And so we're somewhere where he's with, we traveled to, I think, Canada, and one of his family members, we were out to like lunch or something, and they had mentioned that they got diagnosed with borderline. And so they're describing it, and I'm like, oh, I think like I just recently got diagnosed with that. And I'm still like, cause like, ever since I was 12 up until that point, I was told I was bipolar and I was medicated for that.
Yeah.
And that was
a lot to process.
That was the reality in which I was living in, and the trauma that you go through that, especially being diagnosed with bipolar and the shame of living with that and like, whatever. And here I am like having like almost like a breakthrough moment where it's like, oh, I'm not that. Maybe I'm this. And maybe if I'm this, I can actually start to get the help that I need.
Yep.
Because whatever it is not working. And so I'm just like so medicated, and it's like, this is not a life. Like, no, as a young kid, it's like, there's so much shame that goes into, my mom, this is before the housing market and all of that. And so, we were taught, I don't know how close in age we are, but
I'm
like
29.
I'm 25.
Not too well. Okay. So for me as a millennial, we were one of the last generations that were like, if you go to school and if you go to college, you will find a husband, maybe you'll have a job, but you'll find a husband you'll find a job, and then you'll have a husband, and then you'll have a wife, and then you'll have a life. You'll have a house. This is what was literally, pushed down my throat. And then as I got older, it was like my mom was like, oh, you better get a job that has health insurance. And I'm like, that's so much pressure to put on me as a kid. Like I'm trying to I'm having as a kid, I'm in my 20s. I don't know what I'm doing for work. I just went to all this school, yet I have no experience and no one's hiring me. And I'm like, fuck. And now I have to get a job where I can just afford to take these pills that I don't even want to take. And it's like, dude, it's
exhausting.
It's a bad place to be
It
as
is.
a 20-year-old.
Yep.
And so, that, that's just, and then, of course I found weed, and, to be honest, weed has always been there for me with my mental health. It's never, I wouldn't say hindered me. I do think that there's a relationship that I could be had that's more healthier, but it's gotten me where I am. And I, at a certain point, I am smoking less and less now. 'Cause where I'm living and
what do you think about it made it unhealthy for you?
I just think that when I'm not working, I tend to just be smoking. And for me, I like working. And so if I'm not working, I'm smoking. And I just think that, I could have more of a healthier relationship. But for me, when I'm working, it doesn't necessarily prevent me from being a hustler. I do think when it comes to comedy, I want to kind of explore more. So doing it not high.
So you get high on
shit.
on
I've
stage.
never not, I've, there's maybe a handful of times I've been sober on stage.
I'm always high on
Where
stage.
everyone
high.
and comics always look at us and they're like, that's bad. You should probably try it sober and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you see me in my element. This is where I'm very comfortable.
Everyone, like I said, everyone's going to have an
know?
opinion in life. Everyone's going to have an opinion about how you live. People always used to give me shit about making weed memes. The same person who would give me shit about making weed memes is wow, I can't believe you did all that, with,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
dude,
we've
the
got
same-
told.
oh.
Oh, sorry.
Rock, paper, scissors. Let's scissor. No, you go.
We got told when we first started that we should not do 2 Girls, 1 Blunt as the name.
Oh, okay.
That we wouldn't be able to market it or run ads on it or anything like that.
Yeah, we were told by big producers who were trying to pitch us 10 to 20 grand an episode. And I was like, listen, buddy, I was in sales and marketing and you're trying to I don't know, because we do OnlyFans. So they try to take...
You're trying to flim-flam us.
Yeah, everyone tries to take advantage of anyone who's on OnlyFans because they assume
Yeah.
you're making a shit ton of money. Which, maybe. But I don't know. And I was like, no, this is a good name. People remember it. 2 Girls, 1 Bong is barely doing anything.
Yeah.
We don't even let's do it. And so we did it and here we are.
I just think, no matter what you do in life, it's not like everyone's going to be 100% supportive along the way. You're going to have people who just don't see the vision. Mm-hmm. They don't have the vision, but from your experience with think about when you started doing this, how much support you did get. The audience you got, the people who wanted to the fact that people are giving you, it's a sign,
It's literally a sign.
It's a sign.
Thank you for smoking.
It's,
Thank you. Weed.
You're always going to get pushback, but I think you have that feeling that whatever this is specifically, you should be doing it no matter what.
It's just a gut instinct.
It was a gut feeling.
You got to go for
and
it.
you just got to be relentless about it. Mm-hmm. And so really when I started stand up, I was 29 years old, which, you can't go based off age. Matt's, that's something Matt has, I get insecure about that I get angry at myself
for not starting younger. That's me too.
Okay.
However, I will say, if you look at my life in terms of a spectrum, comedy was always there.
Yep.
Writing was always there. For 5 years before I got into stand-up, or however many years, I was making memes, which are one-liners.
Yeah.
Before that, I was writing in college. Before that, I was writing in high school. And when I got to college in Florida, this is where I started to go to stand-up shows pretty much as soon as I was in my 20s and could go to stand-up shows.
Oh, shit.
And when I was, in high school, I was going to see improv shows. I was taking improv classes as a kid. My mom put me in drama, after school drama club. That was always in me. And so again, if you look at your life as in a spectrum, in a line, in a timeline, you know, everything led me to that point. So like, you know, I get to LA. I didn't know that I wanted to be a comedian. I had a marketing degree. I had a social media business, and I was like, okay, let's see where I can apply that to entertainment. I wanted to be closer to home. My family's in Vegas. You know, Hollywood was a dream of mine. I got here. I worked a bunch of shitty jobs, nothing I'm not used to. I've always worked since I was 15 years old. That's one thing my parents instilled in me was you're going to work, you know, and you're going to learn how to hustle, and that's it. You know, like that, if that's one thing they gave me, that was, you know, they've given me so much, but if one thing they truly instilled in me was hustle.
I think work ethic is one of the greatest gifts you can give to your child.
100%. And mental wealth. You know, learning to manage your emotions. That, well, so I didn't get that so much, but I did get the hustle side.
We can't get both.
And sometimes that fuels that. So, again, I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, no, it's true. Like how, I don't know. I got into it, and then everyone knew so much about comedy. Like I never grew up like studying comedy. I don't know the greats. Like I don't, you can mention huge comedians. I don't know who they are. I like comedy. I like what I'm doing, and I'm in my own lane, and this is what I want to do, but I don't like know all of that. And I came in so insecure because people were like, oh, well, you're not a real comedian then. You didn't spend your whole life watching comedy. And I'm like, but I did. I grew up with my dad watching Adam Sandler movies. He was the class clown.
You loved comedy.
I got in trouble for being like funny, like things like that. I made videos like dressing up in like weird costumes and like sketches with my friends when we were in middle school. Like it's always been there.
It's also like comedy is subjective, right? And everyone consumes comedy differently, and everyone consumes, you know, what we think is you know, so that's someone just projecting. So again, like for me, as I started at 29, Matt has to like bring me back down to like, okay, well, look, some of the best comedians today started in their 40s. And if you look at some of the most successful comedians today, they're all like, the women are, you know, closer to late 30s, approaching their 40s. They're, you know, getting older with their audience. Like the men are in their 40s, 50s, 60s plus, like, you know, age is actually better in comedy because you have more life experience. You have more relatability. You want to grow older with your audience, and you want to have a younger audience that looks up to you. Like, you know, I think that, you have to get past that, because ultimately, like, you're here for a reason, and like your talent will make up for the lack of time that you think you're missing. Because, you know, like for me, I've just always been exposed to comedy. It's there. And I think in jokes, like in my life, like, you know, I'll be at the checkout line and someone will say something inappropriate, and it's like, there's, you know, always. Like I'm making the checkout line lady laugh. Like I'm being told by my friends, like, oh, you're you know, like I've always been told I was funny. And I never thought as a woman it was a good thing, because in my mind, I interpreted funny as a distraction, and that means it's bad and I'm in trouble. So like anytime I was funny, I felt pain.
Okay, and there was like shame associated with it. But I also
felt relief as well, because it was like I felt relief, but I would get, you know, it was seen as a distraction by like teachers, or like, you know, guys wouldn't, you know, like, so there would be, I never saw it. It wouldn't be, it's a release for me, but I didn't realize it was a strength.
I also always got told I was too much.
Yeah. Well, that's the part where that's the painful part, is being shamed for for what it is truly your talent.
See, I was told I wasn't funny. Like in high school when I was bullied, they're like, you're not funny. Stop making these jokes. Like that, like this is, you know what I mean?
But if they're jokes, then they're funny.
What someone who's not like, funny would say.
Yeah. But I internalized that so much because I was getting bullied in a whole spectrum of ways. And it was just beating down on my self-confidence and my self-esteem, even though from a young age I knew I was meant for something great. And it was like all these outside forces telling me I couldn't do it. And then I got to college and I met my best friend, and it was the first day of college, and he was like, you're the funniest person I've ever met. And it like flipped a switch, and I was like, oh, I can be funny. But when I got into comedy like 6 years later, the voices that I heard in high school like started creeping back. You know what I mean? So it was never like, I don't know. It was hard. It's definitely a lot to go through.
It is.
Comedy, especially when you're on stage trying to make people laugh, and then they're like,
well, it's different, right? Because, you know, in person, like I struggle with this. Like, I have stage fright. I have immense
shake.
stage fright. And it's like, well, stop smoking. No, I have stopped smoking. And the anxiety is worse. But it's like, that's something that is part of becoming a pro, is being able to do it no matter what. Like, obviously I can do stand-up high. I've been doing stand-up high. But if I could do it sober and I can channel it, like, ultimately, because listen, I'm fucking quick-witted. Like,
you are.
I'm so... like, it's not even a flex. It's like a science. Like,
you have a very like
instant,
snappy,
instant. Like, Matt will tell you, it's one of like me and like some, it's autistic. Like, I can't help it,
Autism.
And so, yeah, what was my point, babe?
No, that's like natural.
Yeah, you're just like, you have it in you.
From that natural part of you.
Yeah.
but that's also playing to your strengths. You know what you're good at, and you keep working on that, and then you're building around it.
I think too, like, there's so many parts of stand-up. Like, there's the joke writing, which obviously is hugely important.
Yeah.
But there's also like reading a room and like your stage presence.
Oh, yeah.
And your body movement.
We're talking about stage fright and stuff like that.
Yeah, and stage fright. And so like, and just being comfortable wherever you are, like, to go in and out of a joke. Like, there's so many aspects to it. And so like, maybe your joke writing is there and you're quick-witted.
Yeah.
But like, the thing you're working on right now so you can be great is like getting comfortable going up,
That's what prevents me. That's like, if every comedian is like, oh, my joke writing could get better, or, my whatever. For me, it's getting over the stage fright and being comfortable with who I am, because also with my mental health struggles, identity is an issue. Like, being able to, like, people will be like, you're Rachel Wolfson. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know. Like, behind that, it's a lot of like self-loathing. And so like, it's like, and I'm not being like, oh, you're Rachel Wolfson. It's like, no, they're like, that's you, you're you. But I don't know what that means.
Who am I?
Do you
Yes,
have
I
your own
experienced that.
podcast?
I did. I had a weed podcast called Chronic Relief. It was a couple years. It was right before the pandemic, and then like once everything transitioned to Zoom, I just became uninspired.
Yeah.
Well, so for our podcast, like, we did get a little bogged down of trying to make it like just stand up, like just having to be funny every episode. And then we started with like just weed. And then I was like, why don't we just talk about everything? Like, some episodes can be funny, some can be serious. Let's talk about mental health, because that's the shit that's real to us.
It's about being blunt.
And yeah,
That's it.
exactly. Two girls, very blunt. And through that, like, Emily starting like stand up, the podcast, and us finding out who we are through just talking all the time and being on helps so much. Because I took a 2-year break from stand up to help build the podcast. And I thought I was so afraid. Like, the stage fright was there. But then people were like, you have the podcast. And I just started like believing it. And I was like, now I'm a completely different person than I was when I was.
I will say a difference there is something to be said about people who podcast. They are way more comfortable on stage.
Yes. So I started stand up.
So much talking.
Yeah. I started stand up 2 months ago.
Wow.
And she's been on like
You're just
30
comfortable.
plus shows.
But I feel very comfortable on stage. And when I channel that I'm podcasting, my sets are so much better. And I always get told that I look confident, even though my knees are shaking and I'm like freaking out on the inside.
And you're comfortable with crowd work and just you're quick with it.
Good interviewing skills, like, that's a strength. Also, like,
The riffing.
yeah, being able to keep up a conversation, all of that. I think podcasting is only a strength for comics, because, the more talking you do.
That's what I'm saying is if you
the more you
started
find your
one,
voice,
or you did something where you were talking about just your thoughts and like who you are, and like the more you say it out loud, the more you believe it. And like, I don't know, sometimes I just have to like riff off Emily of like what's going on in my mind, and then I'm like, all right, that was good, and now I feel way more like I know who I am. Because when you're by yourself and you're stuck with your thoughts, that shit gets crazy.
Yeah.
I have to talk to myself in my head and tell myself to calm the fuck down. Like, I have to yell at myself in my mind.
I heard somewhere that, I think it was on Twitter, which, so you mean it's totally true. And that some people don't have an inner voice, like an inner, did you read that thread?
That blows my mind.
And I'm like, okay, so you just sit empty up there all day. It's just like an empty apartment, just sitting like forever for rent.
Do you
not have
see
thoughts?
images?
everything is visual to me. I am a visual. I picture entire conversations, entire storylines. I'll make up whole situations. Like you ever get into a fight with someone, then you're in the shower and you're like, okay, here's how the script really went down. If you could have had the opportunity to go back and
like maladaptive daydreaming.
You know, and like, visual.
I don't see pictures, but I have either. Thoughts. And
sometimes I speak British.
Yeah, sometimes they're different. Sometimes they're two voices having a conversation, then I'm having a conversation with them, and I'm like, somebody's gonna think I'm crazy.
No, I'm like, dude, how do you not have like? What is? Then you're a fucking robot.
You're an NPC.
There's nothing in
robot. There. What is going on?
That's when I look at you and I'm like, oh, head empty, no thoughts.
You're telling there's nothing up there. Like, how do you just?
Well, I mean, you're telling me you haven't met somebody where you're like, there's nothing up there.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've
what
met
a great
so many
life.
People.
Can you imagine? Just living?
That sounds
Ignorance
great.
is bliss. Like they just must walk around, not even like things could be happening and there's no thoughts.
Yeah. There's so many thoughts in my head at all times.
All the time.
But then I have ADHD and sometimes there are no thoughts. And I just am completely gone.
That's usually when I'm watching reality TV, and that's a form of dissociation.
So also another reason I took a break from stand up is because I was telling him like before we went on, like my mental health was so bad. I was getting so burnt out that like my brain wasn't working. And I started noticing it more and how bad it was by watching the podcast while we were editing and like getting clips, because there'd be periods of time where I'd be like this for a minute straight, like just
zoning out.
Yeah. And then we'd be like, oh shit. And there would be like clips of me like that. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not even there. Like I'm gone. And it just kept, and I wouldn't know when it would happen. And I would just shut down. And it started happening more and more and more. And I was like, I need to take a break from the hustle world. So like, I need to chill.
One of the hardest things, you know, for me is doing comedy with borderline. And for the last year, I've had a hard time finding a therapist in LA. I've just like gone through this like weird shuffle of like therapists, and you know, I was with one for a while and she broke up with me, and it's just like ghost after ghost. I've been ghosted by more therapists than I have.
Wait, that triggers ghosted?
By men. I've been ghosted by more women than men, by therapists than men. And so,
that's crazy to me.
When I got to Austin, I immediately found a therapist super easy. I like her a lot. And so for me, you know, I was telling her, and like, you know, with borderline, oftentimes I'll be, you know, I have an episode and I have to go up and I perform, and like Matt's seen me, like I'm literally walking on stage, you know, wiping the tears, or I'm really angry. I'm just like not there, you know, but as soon as I get on stage and I start to like talk to these people, it brings me out of it. Like I'm forced to have to connect. Like there have been times also where I do dissociate on stage. Like,
yeah, it's happened.
I just like, you know, I'm saying a script and like, you know, and then I have to like wheel myself back in and like sometimes I'm looking down. Like I have to like really, you know, it's fucking hard.
Yeah. Sometimes I just make jokes. I'm like, I just blacked out. I'm like, and then I'll be like, y'all ever black out like that?
Yeah.
And
especially
like,
when you're dealing with like, you know, when you're dealing with like the bullshit of real life, and then you have to go out there and be a clown. It's like the reason why we're clowns is because of the bullshit we're dealing with in our life.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, I'm here and now it's like, haha, you know, like,
but to be able to have like borderline and like, experience that every day and then put yourself into comedy and like challenge yourself like that, like that's gonna make you so superhuman. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be really proud of that.
Thank you. That's the thing that they say is, you know, to conquer something is you have to do it. You have to, like your fear, you have to do exactly what that thing is. And so that's also a skill in therapy, because for borderline, it's a very specific type of therapy that they want you to do. It's called DBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy. It's talk therapy. And so what they do is it teaches you emotional regulation. So for me, I wasn't taught emotional regulation as a kid. I was medicated. I was taught emotional medication. So
wow, we don't even think about how much that affects us.
So instead of dealing with like, you know, emotions and like, you know, a prompting event and then how to appropriately react with that, I was medicated. So this therapy teaches you how to do that. And so
so it's like learning coping skills?
Yeah.
Could you date someone who's allergic to cats?
No. If they're allergic to cats, they're allergic to
wait,
me.
I might have to read. All right, when that
What's that?
Vibrates.
What's her?
where were the cards that I had?
What's the little one's name?
Lucky.
Lucky. She's so lucky.
1-800-LUCKY.
She's a
Hi,
star.
Bear.
We've
Cries.
Dude,
Dude, that song is so me.
Oh,
look at him.
he's so handsome.
We saved him from the street. He was gonna get euthanized.
He's a street boy.
What?
Yeah.
This place
Look
is
at
my
him.
dream.
We've been fostering cats for the
I
past
think we're
year.
the only
Does he
podcast
cuddle
with
with you?
cats. Yeah.
Sleep
Yes.
with you at night?
Can you see him right now?
Yeah. Oh
He's
my god.
so cute.
Bear has Gomez energy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
Gomez
cats will-
has Gomez energy then from Adam's Family. Is that why you named him that?
No, he was pre-named, and that's why we initially went to adopt his sister Wednesday. And so when we got there,
sweet
they
boy.
said Wednesday was spoken for. And so we walked into the room, we just sat down, and Gomez came and walked up right to us, and he's cow print.
Oh,
He looks like a cow.
oh.
And he was the cutest, most beautiful, beautiful angel. And so he chose us,
Bear.
and he sleeps in our arms every night.
Oh, my cat spoons me.
I love him. We love him. He's our best friend.
What would we
And,
do without cats?
I was a dog person growing up, and I think that I just became an older cat lady.
I feel like I've always wanted animals. I want to have like a commune. I want to have like a
Me too.
a farm.
Dude, I follow one of those on Instagram where like it's in some country and like they built a sanctuary and it's like
for cats.
all cats. And
That's what I want to do.
and I'll find it and I'll
my
send
God.
it to
we
you.
should create a weed.
It's like
and
her
like
and her
cat
mom.
restaurant.
Yeah.
And then they have yoga with the cats while they're high.
and it's adoption or you
Yeah.
Adoption center.
I think
And then it's a nonprofit, so we can write everything off on taxes.
bro, we're geniuses.
Let's fucking go.
We're
Yeah.
people should hire us. If you're watching,
Literally.
just know
You're for
you need to start-
hire.
Yeah.
That's a brand.
Oh,
Shit.
for hire.
Whoa.
And it's connecting people who smoke weed to jobs that are
Yeah.
cool with smoking weed.
Wow.
Holy shit! I
Edit
know
that
that's
out
great.
and save it. Edit that out and save it. Don't put it on the internet.
That's great.
That's true.
Unless you want it, someone will do it. They probably have something. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
but
We can't
people
be the
can take
first.
ideas, but like most people don't ever do anything with the ideas.
Yeah.
No.
You can have a whole podcast telling somebody how to make like $1 million off of, I don't know, drop shipping, and like it could actually work. And then most people won't do it. You know?
They're idiots.
Yeah.
You just have to take action. I gotta put my lip gloss on.
All right. These are just like, okay, so we usually just like, we get all these random games and then we just kind of like talk about shit.
Oh, this is all weed related.
So these were supposed to be like, this is from, it's called the Hot Box, a weed filled party game. But it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity. So I figured we could just like, I don't know,
Just have some fun.
Answer the questions on our own without the cards, you know?
This is our
do it.
Stoney Baloneyyyyy segment of the day, fellas.
All right. Trump likes to mix his weed with what?
Ketchup.
That's exactly what he would do.
Yeah.
You know those weird kids who put ketchup on everything when they're younger? I knew somebody who put ketchup on an apple.
I feel like, oh my god, my niece used to put ketchup on waffles.
He
Fucking
seems like
psycho.
the type to be a psycho like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Trump was the kid in middle school who used to mix up all the food on the lunch tray into one big soup.
It's called getting lost in the sauce.
I've been there.
Wait, have you ever had weed with ketchup? Or did
Are you speaking from experience?
I have not. I just feel like you asked me what I think he would do.
Okay, blunts, bitches, and blank. That's my motto.
But blunts, bitches, and blankets.
Yeah,
That's a great motto.
that's a great t-shirt.
Or bathrobes.
oh, for
Or
alliteration.
bathtubs.
Oh, or big dicks.
Or
Big dicks.
yeah.
Blunts, bitches, and big dicks. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Write that down.
or blunts, bitches, and health insurance.
Oh,
Wow.
Blunts, bitches, and somebody to take care of me.
I need a father.
Blunts, bitches, and therapy.
Blunts, bitches, and DBT.
Yeah. Love
Blunts,
it.
bitches, and who's my real dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay.
I love that. Okay.
Rachel, you're 20% THC, 10% what?
20% THC and 10%. Can I change the percentage?
Sure.
Okay, I'm probably like Okay, I'm probably like, okay, none of them. I'm probably like 40% mentally ill and 20% THC.
What's the other 40%?
Those are great odds.
Funny.
Hell yeah.
40 for funny.
Yeah.
Okay. When getting high with your roommate, the worst commercial to watch is...
When getting high with your roommate, the Sarah McLachlan commercial. In the arms of an angel. Yeah, the
For
devil.
just $4.99, you can sponsor this cat.
You can adopt
She
this
has a
cat.
terrible life.
The devil made that commercial. It's literally the worst thing to watch, no matter what drug.
I cry every time.
There's no drug that makes that commercial fun.
Sarah McLachlan's a Satanist.
Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's the worst commercial, I'd say.
What's the best commercial to watch while high?
Oh, the best commercial? I think... Well, anything with a good jingle, like BK, have it your way.
1-800-STEAMER call.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Or 877 cash now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What's the...
1-877 cars
Phil's?
for kids. Bernie and Phil's.
Yeah.
Quality.
Those were the best.
1-877 cars for kids.
KARS cars for kids. I used to hate those
Oh, wait,
commercials.
what's the other one? Get connected for free with...
oh my God, Get Connected, the school thing.
Yeah. With
Education Connection.
Get connected.
Whoa.
For free.
Yeah, dude.
Was I
They
too young
spent
for that
way
one?
Too much. I don't know.
Did you watch Zoom?
Zoom?
Like Zoom, Zoom, the kids show.
Yeah, with the big letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And they
watched
did like
Zoom.
science shit. It was the best.
Zaboomafoo?
What? God bless you.
Wait, there was like a Manscaped ad.
What did you just say
That
to
was
me?
so good.
It was a TV show about a lemur.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was really cute.
What was like your
like-
go-to cartoon?
Ooh, Rugrats.
Okay.
I've been searching for this Rugrats game that I played on my Nintendo 64 or whatever the fuck it was. It was like purple and it was Rugrats, but they were in a coal mine.
Okay.
And I can't find it anywhere. And
Remember
it's been
when they
driving me
like
crazy.
one of them swallowed a watermelon seed and then they turned into a water. I don't know. There was some weird.
I was terrified of that growing up.
I loved Rugrats.
Okay,
Hashtag.
weed just doesn't hit the same without blank.
Food.
Yeah. I would say
I was gonna say tobacco.
That's the other one. Sorry, not to be those girls. To be blunt.
we are
To be blunt,
we are those
tobacco.
girls.
Literally. That's so funny.
Whoa, you're just licking your
the
cooch?
Manscaped has created these like new skits.
Oh, I like
it's like
that.
with space skits.
Love it.
Is it animated?
And they're animated and they're so funny. And
I also
when we-
liked South Park and Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
what's Aqua Teen Hunger
that?
Force?
Oh my God, that was like Adult Swim, like really weird, funny shit.
Oh, this one. This is so funny. All right, ready?
Still using a washcloth. Holy shit, what the f? Yeah, I remember the days of being a gross loser too. Are you robbing me? Some might say you've been robbing yourself with proper exfoliation. What's happening right now? Progress with the new Body Buffer antibacterial silicone scrubber. Your shower routine just got a serious upgrade. Is that all? Yeah, you gonna try it out? Right now? Yeah. Will you leave if I do? Maybe. Love my job. Still
That's
using a
great.
I was so high when I
That's
great.
more captivating than real life actors, and that's why AI is going to replace all of us.
That's
so true.
Not to
terrifying.
be blunt,
like that
but
was so funny.
that was so good.
I was watching that
I'm like-
high and I was like, that's great.
That's like
Replace us
middle school
all.
humor.
Replace us all. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding, don't.
Or like, remember the was it Robot Unicorn or Robot Gummy Bear? Those things, like those little sketches you'd watch on YouTube when YouTube first came out.
Wait, I like that game. Can we do
Yeah.
a couple
Oh,
more?
yeah.
All right, what did TSA find in your bag?
Oh God. They found a mini water bottle from Uber, but they did not find other things.
Oh, well, that's
Don't we
good.
love that?
Yeah.
that's kind of my trick.
My bag got stopped, and I was like, well, I know there's nothing in there, and so I'm just like, all right. And then when they pulled out a water bottle, I'm like, oh, thank God. But like, what an idiot, amateur.
haven't been there.
But it's one of those small ones that, you know what I mean? So you wouldn't see it. Like,
Yeah, and you'd forget about it.
Okay.
One time I've gotten stopped for like sex toys.
Yeah.
And also, I always because we do OnlyFans, have dildos and vibrators and shit in your bag. And every single time, all of my sex toys will be hidden. And then I'll open my bag when I get to my location, and they're neatly placed with a note from TSA. And I'm just
love it.
sorry, I didn't
I hope
watch
you
that,
didn't
bro.
use them.
They know exactly what's going on in there.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Studies show that 1 in 3 smokers are addicted to blank.
Studies show that 1 in 3 smokers are addicted to...
I'm addicted to finessing. I'm addicted to finessing.
1 in 3 smokers are addicted to...
addiction.
I don't believe in that. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I just dissociated.
They're addicted to tobacco.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
30%.
Yeah.
Well, 1 in 3 smokers, I would say that's probably 2 out of 3 smokers, because smokers also could be tobacco.
That's the nicotine.
1 in 3 smokers are addicted to...
Are these scientifically proven? Is there scientific answers? Or
No,
these
so
just
the answers they're over there.
Oh, they're actual
If you're
answers?
if you're gonna play Cards Against Humanity and we all have our own cards,
Oh, I wish okay.
unless you want to do that.
No, keep going. Let's keep going.
All right.
I just wondered what the real answer was.
Oh no, we'd make it up, and
Yeah.
it'd be whoever had the
I love
funniest
it.
answer.
We'd make it up.
Whoa.
All right.
You'd be a great corny dad.
I know. I have the socks and the sandals and everything. I'm ready. I got the flannel. I got
gotta
the
get the,
half shirt with the belly hanging out.
Oh,
Dude,
that's...
give me an IPA and I'm your dad.
That's
You
so
know?
hot.
Yeah, but then you gotta leave, and then you're really her dad.
Yeah. That's, you guys.
Bye.
I never want to laugh at your sad dad stuff, but
But so funny.
I'm here to be your dad. So
God bless.
I'm sad dad. There you go. Love it. Of course there's merch.
Of course there is.
I love it.
Did you check out what was on these pillows?
Besides Nick Cage.
I've scanned only a couple of them, but to be honest, I'm so high and I'm like, where do I look? Because it's such a great place to be high in.
That's
It's
what
a
we
great
wanted.
place to do shrooms in.
What I'm like, but I need to give, I was like, focus on eye contact.
No, we're autistic. Sometimes we don't like eye contact.
So I'm checking out the place, but I don't want to look too long. So it doesn't look like I'm checking out. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
So I will check out the place after.
We have to smoke that new bong we just got
Yeah,
after.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's beautiful.
Ew, I love that.
That's beautiful.
It's Barbie. Are you excited for Barbie? I'm fucking
Sure.
pumped, dude.
I mean, Barbie was cool.
I was a Bratz girl.
Me
I was
too.
actually I did Bionicles.
I wanted to be Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
I was more into men things.
I collected bugs.
Me
What-
too.
what type of
I
bugs?
dissected
Roly polies.
I had millipedes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I read books. I was a nerd. I was a loser.
When
know?
did you start
Me
smoking
too.
weed?
When I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me too.
About the
Yeah.
same time
I
as
think
me.
19.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I unwind with a joint, a bubble bath, and
Reality television.
Yep. I unwind with a joint, a bubble bath, and my vibrator.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that.
For sure. That's
a good
how,
night.
I'm out. I'm sleeping like a baby. I did that 2 nights ago.
While reality TV is playing. No.
I think I had TikTok on.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
TikTok is my reality TV.
Not at the same
So
time as
true.
me coming, but
Well,
because that'd be weird.
Speak for yourself.
All right. Pornhub's top search. Pornhub's top search term, wrong answers only.
Pornhub's top search term would be.
Black holes, and it's just the universe.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I have one. Cumspiracy theories.
Oh,
You were so quick
that's a
with
good
it.
one.
You
That's
come
a
up with
good
it so
one.
quick, and I'm like, shit.
Do you love it? He hates it.
Conspiracy theories.
Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch one right now.
Think about it. That's that's probably just a high Google topic anyway.
It's like ASMR, but for your dick.
Think about it. It's like every conspiracy, but porn. A lot of them are really bad. So you'd have to stick to the alien
It's
conspiracy.
just Alex Jones.
No, it's just
fucking a bunch of OnlyFans models.
yeah. It would have to be the alien conspiracy theories,
Oh, and there's tentacle porn and shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it reenactments
I
of
still
what
think
happened during
Alex
the
Jones should be
conspiracy?
in it.
I agree.
Alex Jones should narrate the porn.
It's just him screaming. Sandy Hook wasn't real. Now eat that ass.
Oh my God. I think, that would be my top search. Conspiracy. Matt, what would be yours?
My top porn search?
Wrong answers only.
Bush for president.
That's a great one.
That's really, you guys are
so funny.
You guys should be comedians.
Yeah, we'll try.
Mine's water country.
That's funny.
Okay.
Well, that's all I got.
That's all we had for these.
Great.
The other ones like weren't funny, and
we nailed that one.
We nailed
I
it.
think that
all
was
of
a
us.
great session.
That was so good.
Tight work, folks.
Yeah. That was we got the kitties. We got so much weed.
Well, this has been a
The
great
Flowery.
time.
Shout out to them again.
Shout out to
we'll
the
give
Flowery.
you some to go
Thank
home
you.
with.
I need more weed.
You're gonna go eat some seafood and have a great night.
Wait, what time are you guys going?
Whenever. That's the thing. Miami, you can just go.
We have an hour till our show.
Okay, perfect. Enough time to smoke.
Yeah,
Again.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
feel like I'm in California right now.
we are.
Is there any
California state of mind.
Yeah. California sober.
that's what
That's
I want to
me.
be.
Plus shrooms.
Do you do a lot of shrooms?
So I just did shrooms on Christina's birthday. That was the last time I did it. But before that, it's been a while. Matt loves shrooms.
I love
He's,
shrooms. You look like the shrooms type.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, normally he doesn't wear shorts, but like he totally his own. Like it's Miami.
He's in
He-
Florida.
He's literally,
Owning the
this
Floridans.
is not. I've literally seen him in shorts like 10 times in my life, and this is one and sandals. Like this is his like house outfit. You know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You
I
guys
love
just
that.
ran out.
It's LA. I'm
Yeah.
still wearing a black shirt.
He's LA on top. You know.
Miami on the bottom.
Gay on the bottom.
Oh,
He's got a
Miami
mullet
gay.
outfit. I like that.
No, he's Miami on the bottom for sure. He's a bottom in Miami.
I love that.
Welcome to Miami.
Just come to Miami.
We're killing it with these today.
These are great.
All
All right. Well, yeah.
When does this come out?
I think
3 weeks from now.
yeah.
Okay.
So shows I would do like end of August or September
End of August. Oh shit. Well, at that point, I have
or like middle August.
yeah. Just check out my website for dates. I'm gonna be at Skankfest. We're gonna be at Skankfest, and then
When is that?
Is it what, October, September? We got dates in November in Palm Desert. Just come
shit.
check us out in Austin if you're around, or LA. We're gonna go back and forth, or Vegas. Like that's pretty much where we're.
I feel like when you come here a decent amount.
Yeah,
too.
we'll be in Florida. So like those are pretty much our favorite places. But yeah,
Oh,
Hell yeah. I love that.
Bear.
that's Lucy.
Oh, Lucy.
Oh, that's Lucy.
Yeah, she likes Rachel.
We've had all the cats.
I
like,
love Lucy.
Oh,
sometimes the cats will like jump up behind the guests and like crawl on them, and they're like, you can see who likes cats. and
That's
who
my
doesn't.
dream. Like,
I
why
know.
get over here, guys?
just say treats, and they'll come to you.
Oh, that's true.
We should give you treats to give to them after. Okay.
God.
All
We'll
right.
do
So
that.
what's your website and where can everyone find you?
RachelWolfsonComedy.com, and I'm at Rachel Wolfson on Instagram. I'm Wolfie Comedy on Twitter. I'm everything everywhere. Also, follow me on Facebook. I hate to say that, but I deleted my Facebook, so I never I don't know if any of your fans are on Facebook, but
Actually, we in like just a couple months we hit like 135K followers on Facebook.
okay, yeah. So tell all of them to follow me.
Facebook's one of our biggest platforms.
And like all of my pages, because I don't know which one I identify with. Just like me, like everything I do.
I love
But-
Wolfie's DMs.
Oh yeah, and of course Wolfie DMs.
Oh, I love that too. We should have had
yes.
you read some. Can you leave
Yeah,
us with a couple of nasty DMs?
Okay,
so
Wolfie
Rachel,
DMs.
you get
Oh,
a
wait.
lot of crazy DMs, right?
So after even before the movie came out, I've always been sent, as women, we get sent,
Some
comments.
atrocious.
Anyone who puts themselves out there publicly, but especially,
file on my
but
Oh, really?
especially,
That's
but
so funny.
But especially women, I feel like, and also women in comedy and women who are OnlyFans, anything where we're doing something empowering, and confident. The internet likes to just humble you right down to the.
Matt, how long have you been recording
I don't know
for?
what it is, but ever since I started like growing and being more sexual online and making jokes, I get less DMs. I got more like crazy DMs when I first started comedy.
21
Because
minutes? Thank
all those
you.
people have been weeded out. And now you're actually acquiring your true audience and fan base.
That's true.
Amen.
So
Oh, I love that.
The more I wouldn't be surprised the more you continue on, the less one, hate you'll probably get, and less you'll be bothered by it, because at that point you'll have such your core fan base that like anyone who comes in, like even like if I get any kind of, people will go after them.
Really?
That's starting to happen.
I love
without
that.
you asking, and
Like
not
they're
even,
just standing up
you
for
know,
you.
100%. And so like it's also like, again, these people would never be able to do what you do, and that's why they're mad.
Yeah.
You know?
We got to remind
I
ourselves
get a lot
that.
of critiques from men who would never lick a taser or, you know, have a scorpion bite them in the face.
Yep.
Or, you know. And
Amen.
So here are some of the DMs I've received. I have a crush on you now, but it makes sense because I'm mentally ill.
That's almost like
That means
a
he
great
relates to you.
review.
The next one is, now that Jackass 4.5 is on Netflix, I don't have to go all the way to the theater to masturbate.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the caption was incoming. So I definitely suck a fart out of a straw from your ass. Then
Same.
I would never breathe again.
You
So
die happy.
And the captions was, save the turtles.
They get good with it.
Okay, this is one I loved. Someone said, you look like your pussy exhales with an attitude.
That's a great one.
That's a compliment.
That's a good one.
I know. Well, I have a section called almost compliments because, like, you know,
It's almost there.
Yeah, literally right at the line.
That's
Then
so
they pull you
funny.
right back. Let's see. Can my face be your toilet seat and my tongue be your toilet paper? And I called that guy Prince Charmin.
I love that.
Prince Charmin, whatever it's called. Prince Charmin.
Sherman.
Oh, okay. So I'll just do a couple more. So someone sent me, I'd get circumcised just for you. And then, sorry, wrong person. And the caption was, cutting it close.
I like these.
Okay, I'll end on this one, pun intended. If you gave birth to me, I would crawl back in through your butthole.
What an honor.
He's like, I don't want to leave you ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are great DMs.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for reading those for us, and thanks for coming on.
That was
Thank
so
you
funny.
for having me.
This is great.
This was a long
Crazy.
time coming.
A long time coming.
Yeah.
And she's
see
going
you-
to come again.
Yes. All the
Anytime.
time.
All the time. Anywhere.
Yeah, please.
We travel.
Yes.
We're a traveling
Please.
podcast.
I would love that.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm manifesting you both moving down to Austin,
We're also manifesting it.
taking this to ATX because, I mean, you know, it's time.
You're like the fifth person to tell us in the
In
last 3
this week,
days.
yeah.
This week. They're like, why aren't you going to Austin? We're like, fuck.
Listen, I'm not telling everyone to move to Austin, but there are a few people in my life that I'm like, I feel like this would be a good vibe and we could, you know, have a fun time.
Yeah, we could do a lot with
Live
all
our
of our
dreams.
businesses.
Yeah.
Oh
With
my
all
gosh.
of our cocaine businesses.
Exactly.
We would have a great time in Austin.
Literally.
We're going to be
It's
billionaires.
gonna happen.
Boston,
gonna happen.
Austin. Well, these ladies from Boston to Austin.
From Boston.
The billionaire story.
It's true.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Honestly,
cry.
I'm hard now.
Me too.
All right. Guys, this was a great episode. We will see you next Tuesday, you filthy fucking stoners.